First tonight on Our News Weekend, a tragic car wreck leaves one woman in her late 20s dead. Police believe speed may have been a factor. Plus, the Chinese ambassador says the Bahamas shouldn't be worried about the ongoing trade war between China and the United States. This as the embassy is looking to establish more direct trade between the two countries. And later, a night of songs and stories. Stay tuned for a recap of the charming night in paradise with Grammy Award-winning John Legend. We've got the details on these stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. Traffic investigators are probing into a serious car wreck that's left one woman in her late 20s dead. Officers were called to the scene at the intersection of Emmanuel Way and Malcolm Road around 1 a.m. this morning. When our news arrived, we met a gruesome scene. Two wrecked vehicles, one lodged into a lamp pole with a trail of debris. An engine could even be seen feet away, dislodged from one of the vehicles. Second in charge at the Traffic Division, Chief Superintendent Karan Jennings, tells us these details from their initial investigations.
Our information at this time is that the white Acura ILX was traveling east on Malcolm Road, and the gray Mazda DMU was traveling west when a collision occurred. EMS was also dispatched, and on arrival of the scene, they would have treated all victims. However, the driver of the gray DMU, she succumbed to her injuries. Our information at this time, she's a female in her late 20s.
While officers are still investigating, it's believed that speed may have been a factor. Traffic police have this warning for drivers.
Persons traversing the streets at these hours to be careful, be cognizant of their surroundings, and if you are out having fun, make sure you have a designated driver.
Confirming the body of a man was found near the Independence Highway yesterday afternoon. It comes less than 24 hours after a body was discovered on Baylily Drive in the Seabreeze area, and just 1 week after another man was found dead, tangled in barbed wire near a home. While officers again have little details to go on at this time, Press Liaison Chief Superintendent Sharia King was able to provide this bit of information.
That discovery was classified as a sudden death, and so we are doing further investigations into that matter, and once an autopsy is completed, but there's no foul play in that matter.
A 34-year-old man has been unconscious in hospital for the past 2 weeks. And tonight, police need your help in locating the person or persons responsible. According to police, the man was involved in an altercation at Porter's Dock on Sunday, May 11th. He was allegedly struck in the head with an object and was rendered unconscious. He was taken to hospital where he remains in that condition. Police are asking anyone with information that can assist with this investigation to contact the nearest police station or the Criminal Investigation Department at 502-9991. Anonymous tips can also be submitted to Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS. Well, days after speaking out on stalled negotiations, Labor and the Public Service Minister, Pia Glover-Roll, says the Consultant Physician Staff Association received a proposal for their new industrial agreement. Last week, CPSA President Sherelle Lockhart revealed the union felt it was being tossed around like a hot potato. This after months of waiting for a proposal from the Public Hospitals Authority. Glover-Roll telling us the goal is to have the matter resolved soon.
I know that the CPSA received, the evening of their press conference, received that proposal from the PHA. I'm of the understanding that it's being discussed, and I'm hopeful that the discussions will come to a conclusion this week so we can move forward with a final proposal.
Our News understands there were 2 points of contention: insurance for doctors and a suitable way to record hours worked. We spoke to the CPSA president, who confirmed a proposal was sent to them, but they were waiting for a response from the PHA on aspects of that proposal. Still, Glover-Roll remains hopeful.
There were only 1 or 2 clauses that were left to be debated, to be negotiated, and that is being discussed at this time between CPSA, PHA, and Finance. So I continue to be optimistic that we will get this agreement signed shortly.
Meantime, the Chinese embassy here in the Bahamas is looking to establish more direct trade between the two countries. Earlier this week, embassy officials reaffirmed their commitment to being friends with the Bahamas, despite what they describe as unfair pressure by the United States. Our Joshua Williams tells us more.
Chinese ambassador to the Bahamas, Yan Zhirong, says the Bahamas shouldn't be worried about the ongoing trade war between China and the United States. It's been a hot and cold relationship between the world's superpowers so far this year, with both countries slapping heavy tariffs on one another, leading to tension and instability in the international trade market. In recent times, the trade war has cooled down. Both countries have agreed to roll back most of their tariffs and to hit pause for now, both sides slashing tariffs and committing to 90 days of talks. The ambassador says in any event, Bahamians should not be worried.
Why I'm optimistic is because I do see, endeavors and efforts by the Bahamas to diversify your trading partners and diversify your partners in terms of, investment, trade, and everything else. And China, as I said, just want to be one of your multiple partners.
She says the embassy is seeking to foster this partnership through international partnerships, ambassadors, and more trips by Bahamians to China to better establish business relationships.
I do see that more and more Bahamian entrepreneurs are willing to go to China and establish this kind of cooperation relationship with Chinese entrepreneurs. And I was told that every year around 100 Bahamian entrepreneurs will go to China to talk with Chinese entrepreneurs, with their partners. They will go China to attend all kinds of expos.
So could we see more direct trade between both countries, and what would it look like?
The Chinese people will love Bahamian lobsters and rams and the handicrafts. These are really, very good quality, high quality, and very well-known products. So I think that, with joint efforts of our two sides, I hope that the Bahamian products, your lobsters, your rams, and your handicrafts, and your conchs can find, a better market in China.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
All right, thanks so much, Joshua. The Organization for Responsible Governance is looking to bring about changes and organization to the nonprofit sector. Project manager of Map for Good, Vanessa Bethel, telling me recently that they've undertaken a mammoth task to visit all major islands, conduct thousands of surveys, and eventually create a directory of every nonprofit organization within the country.
It'll allow folks to be able to identify the services that they need, but also we in the sector to be able to see who's doing what and where can we partner, where can we strategically collaborate. Also, we'll be conducting a data analysis to be able to identify any trends in services and also gaps. There's oftentimes, you may have similar organizations doing very similar work in the same community, but the community next door has no one, right? So how can we better think about how do we undertake our mission and do our work.
And Bethel says they are still in phase 1 of contacting some 1,400 registered nonprofits. One of the main challenges they've received so far relates to issues with funding.
Resources are always number one. Funding and things like that are certainly a challenge. But also sometimes there's policy issues, for example, with the MPO Act of 2019. All nonprofits need to be registered under the act, but there's a few areas of ambiguity. For example, before that we registered under the Companies Act. Now there's the question of whether we're supposed to register under both, and we've had a hard time getting a clear answer.
She says the directory will assist with those looking to donate to worthy causes.
And also be able to identify where do they want to donate. Also for donors, I've in the course of doing this project, we've had international donors contact us and ask, hey, who's doing what? We want to be able to support their programming.
Bethel also noting that nonprofit organizations are among the first to respond in times of disaster or when communities are greatly in need. She explains how this directory could be useful when time is of the essence.
But imagine if you had the mechanism already in place where you have a directory, you have a map, you already know who's there and who's doing what, and being able to utilize that in your disaster response, or if it's not just a disaster, or if it's on a smaller scale, right? Whether, it's the fires, there's all of these different things that are happening in various communities, but imagine if you can quickly go, they're here, they're doing that, let's figure out how we can quickly partner. I think it makes everything just a bit more effective and efficient.
When our News Weekend comes back from the break, doors are opening for aspiring Bahamian doctors, as WASM is offering a fully subsidized scholarship program for qualified local students. Plus, the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama recently recognizing outstanding individuals. One of the honorees tells us what inspires her to keep going. Those details coming up when our News Weekend returns.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Diet-friendly special.
The Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, also known as WASM, located on Grand Bahama, is opening doors for aspiring Bahamian doctors, offering a fully subsidized scholarship program for qualified local students. Located just off East Sunrise Highway, the medical school continues to make major strides in both education and development. Just last month, WASM signed an amended heads of agreement with the government, a move that Chairman Bill Colgan says paves the way for sustained growth and expansion of the institution. Chair of the scholarship program, Jackie Colgan, says the initiative is about creating opportunity for Bahamians.
Every year, we offer a 100% tuition scholarship for all 4 years, as well as a 75% tuition scholarship. At the current rate of tuition, the 4-year full tuition scholarship has a value of $267,000. And we offer these annually strictly to Bahamian students. We strongly encourage any Bahamian student who's looking to go to medical school to consider coming to WASM, where you get to spend the first 2 years on campus and then the next 2 years doing clerkships at the hospital.
Now, anyone interested in applying can visit their website at wasm.education. As for eligibility requirements,
applicants to the scholarship program must have completed their undergraduate education and have taken the MCAT, the medical entrance exam required of all student applicants. Our scholarships are need-based in nature, so we aim to help give a quality education to those who may certainly be qualified but may not otherwise be able to afford such an education.
the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama recently recognized several outstanding individuals with the Paul Harris Fellow Recognition Award, one of the highest honors given by the organization. The Paul Harris Fellow distinction is awarded to those who contribute or have made contributions in their name to the Rotary Foundation, which supports humanitarian efforts around the world. Among the recipients was Fatima Zara Kaboub. Zara Kaboub has been a driving force in reigniting Grand Bahama's orange economy. Her efforts include launching and sustaining major cultural events such as a Freeport Fashion Week, Freeport's Got Talent, and Art Lucaya, a museum filled with authentic Bahamian artwork. She says she is extremely grateful for the honor.
Which is quite an incredible honor, really, to be a recipient of such prestigious sort of award, really. And I'm incredibly pleased and super grateful, of course.
And she says there's more work that will be done in the community.
So we've got Columbus House reopening, hopefully this summer. So this is a big deal because we had to close it after Dorian. And ever since we had to separate, as you know, I'm on the board of the Grand Bahama Children's Home. So we had, once our children are over 13, we have to send them to Nassau because we don't have a home for them in Grand Bahama anymore. So it's such an important part of the social fabric of Freeport to have this teenagers stay here because they're siblings sometimes in the children's home. And of course, because we cater to the whole northern Bahamas.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, it was a night of songs and stories as a multi-Grammy award-winning artist serenaded an audience of thousands at a local resort. But first,
one lucky winner is headed to the NBA Finals courtesy of Alive, and Jonquel Jones and the Liberty face their toughest battle so far in this young season. Our Sports Weekend is up next.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set them all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set them all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try set them all cold and flu and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Diet-friendly special.
Good evening, happy Sunday. Welcome to Our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. Alive is partnering with the police's Flamingo Gardens Urban Renewal Program to show appreciation to the community and shoot some hoops. And one lucky winner is headed to the NBA Finals. We were there.
We've been giving away a prize, which was an all-expense paid trip to the NBA Finals for games 3 and 4 of this year's finals.
That's Bannerman Campbell, Director of Consumer Services at Cable Bahamas, and you heard him correctly. A lucky winner will be headed to the NBA Finals thanks to a recent sweepstakes held by Alive. Runners-up received a variety of exciting prizes, including televisions, phones, and tickets to Saturday night's John Legend concert. Alive is also partnering with the Flamingo Gardens Urban Renewal Program to host a 3-point contest and a dunk contest, where they give away prizes to the lucky participants.
We partnered with the Carmichael Urban Renewal Division of the Police, and what we did is we invited all of the kids on their basketball team out for an event today. So we had the 3-point competition for under 25 and over 25.
And they're not done either. Look out for more community outreach and giveaways this year.
We want to remind everyone that we're a company that gives back, that cares about the community. We're going to be doing a lot more events like this throughout the summer and for the rest of the year, so we want to tell people to look out for that.
Congratulations to our lucky winner. If anybody has any finals tickets they just really itching to give away, I'm your man. Now we're going to head over to the Hoosier State, where Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty faced the biggest challenge of their young season yesterday afternoon. Take a look. Jonquel Jones and the New York Liberty got everything they can handle from the much-improved Indiana Fever, gutting out a tough 90-88 road win in the Hoosier State on Saturday night. JJ took the game over, scoring a team-high 26 points on 9-15 shooting and grabbing 12 rebounds to keep them in the game. The Fever were up by 10 in the fourth quarter, but the Liberty stormed back behind a 10-point quarter from Jones. Sabrina Ionescu, who had 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, sealed the win for the Liberty, making 2 free throws with 2 seconds left. Natasha Cloud got the strip on Caitlin Clark, denying the Fever a final shot attempt. Cloud did a masterful job guarding Clark, holding her to 18 points on 6 of 18 shooting. Aaliyah Boston went right at JJ in the post, scoring 27 points and grabbing 13 rebounds. Here is JJ talking about her fourth quarter takeover.
Just going out there playing, trusting my teammates and trusting that, we're going to make the right plays for each other because that's what makes us successful as a team, and just playing the game.
And the Liberty are resting up right now for the busy week ahead of them. They play the Golden State Valkyries in the Bay on Tuesday and Thursday. Of course, we'll have all those scores and highlights on our broadcast and social media pages. Well, that's a wrap for sports this evening. For our sports weekend, I'm Tage Adderley. I'll see you next Saturday.
Thanks so much, Tage. On the other side of this break, it's time for your Sunday evening forecast with meteorologist Ian McKenzie. Stick with us.
Family, how you look so down? Set up all cold and flu, could flip that frown. All the coughing and that running nose cannot last. You must come back to work and class. Set up all can deal with that fast, yeah. Try set up all cold and flu, daytime and nighttime too. Try Cetamol, cold and flu, and get back to the better you. Available at pharmacies nationwide.
Distributed by Lowe's Wholesale Drug Agencies Limited.
Diet friendly special.
Welcome back and thanks for sticking with us. Well, it's that time on a Sunday evening to wind down and prepare for the week ahead. As to what you can expect weather-wise, here's meteorologist Ian McKenzie with a look at temperatures across the country. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Sunday evening forecast as we dive from May into June with those hot temperatures. Steamy still on the outside under mostly clear skies. Temperature 85. Feels like at 90. Winds are from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Across the country at this time in Freeport, we have 83s. These continue in Allenstown, Great Harbor Key as well. 84 in Nicholstown, 85 in the capital. A pair of 82s in Marsh Harbor and in Governor's Harbor. Central Bahamas continue with those 84s in Kemps Bay as well as Deadman's Key, Long Island. 85 in Georgetown, 83s in Black Point, Arthurstown, and in Coburn Town, San Salvador. Southeast Bahamas, 83s continuing in Duncantown, Delectable Bay, and in Abrahams Bay. 84 in Colonel Hill, in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos, and 85 in Matthewtown in Agua. Satellite and radar composite at this time. Broad area of high pressure continuing to dominate weather conditions across our area. Weak troughing near the extreme northwest Bahamas could produce 1 or 2 pockets of showers. Boating forecast, winds will be east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Low tide at 1:44 a.m. tomorrow morning, high tide at 7:32 a.m. Central and southeast Bahamas, winds a tad bit stronger. We have a caution out there for you boaters. And for you swimmers, a risk of rip currents. Winds easterly at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. Here's a look at your national forecast. And in your extended forecast, expect that broad area of ridging to continue to suppress any type of rainfall activity until the end of the week, so into the weekend of June. Normally, as we head into June, we expect the rainfall pattern to tick up. We get an uptick in rainfall, moisture across the area. That should cool things down a bit, but expect those high temperatures to persist through most of the week into the upper 80s, low 90s. So that means lots of water, stay hydrated, and try as much as possible to remain in shaded areas during extended outdoor periods. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun week, everyone.
Thanks so much, Ian. Well, it was a night of songs and stories. Fans from around the world gathering at a mega resort last evening to be serenaded by a multi-Grammy Award-winning artist. But for the mega artist, it was not just an ordinary show, but an artistic look into his life. Our Danielle Miller tells us more.
We are currently in Atlantis' Concert Village, where things are a bit quieter than they were earlier, and that's because most of the concert attendees are now inside the actual venue where love and R&B has erupted on Casarina Beach, courtesy of Mr. John Legend. The sky painted a misty gray as the famous Royal Towers served as the stage's backdrop. John Legend, adorned in fine linen, capturing the hearts of more than 1,000 attendees with just a piano and his mesmerizing voice. With a massive catalog featuring a combination of classic R&B and gospel covers, the 2-hour set did not disappoint. Whether you were with your special someone, a friend group, or on a solo date, the urge to sing along was irresistible, creating a melodious orchestra from within the audience. I will stay with you. And what was your favorite song from tonight? Holla, 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 holla. What did it feel like tonight bringing your wife out to an evening underneath the stars with John Legend?
Feel wonderful. Amazing.
And was this like a date night for you?
Yes.
Well deserved?
Yes, ma'am.
Titled A Night of Songs and Stories, it was more than just a concert. The 13-time Grammy Award-winning artist masterfully narrating anecdotes of his life and legacy through a timeline of vintage pictures, something audience members greatly appreciated.
My sister actually dragged me out. I was ready to go home to sleep, but I'm happy I came out. She enjoyed herself. I'm happy about that, and it was really nice. I enjoyed the storytelling part of it.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Looks like a great time. Thanks so much, Danielle. Well, wondering what government's planning to spend and where your money's going this upcoming financial year? Well, Our News and Our TV has got you covered. Tune in live as Prime Minister Philip Davis presents the 2025-2026 national budget. Wednesday, May 28th at 9 a.m. We'll bring it to you live on Our TV channel 212. And of course, you can stream it on Facebook or the Our News YouTube channel, so you can watch from wherever you are. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.